by Norman Williamson. 2 is Buck Willow, Declan Murphy. 3, Devil's Valley, was Blinkered, written by Mark Pittman. 4, Duke de Vendôme, Steve Smith-Eccles. 5, one of the 3 Hours Challengers, Firian's Law, written by Kevin O'Brien. 6, General James, Graham Bradley. 7, Geostar, Gary Lyons. 8, Last of the Bunch, Neil Doughty. 9, Monumental Lad, Robert Bellamy. 10, My Young Man, Jamie Osborne. 11, Redundant Pal for Alan, Conor O'Dwyer. 12, Remittance Man, Richard Dunwoody. 13, Uncle Ernie, Mark Dwyer. And 14, Orbis for Ireland, written by the champion, Charlie Swan.
And on the first betting of this particular race, we have Remittance Man as favourite, 2-1, but close up, Uncle Ernie is 5-2, second favourite. Last of the Bunch, 5-1. Orbis is 10-1, and on 11-1 from 12s, My Young Man. Redundant Pal, 16, so is Firian's Law, and Buck Willow, 20-1 from 16s. Devil's Valley, 25-1, 33-1, bar 9.
The break, they're off, let's go. Pete.
And they're away with Bark Island the first to show. Bark Island well up there. Over on the far side, My Young Man. My Young Man lands in the lead from Bark Island, Uncle Ernie. They're all safely over the first. And it's My Young Man from Bark Island, Uncle Ernie. Towards the near side is Monumental Lad. And still My Young Man from Bark Island, Monumental Lad, Buck Willow not far behind him. Uncle Ernie's been dropped back to 6th. Over on the far side, Last of the Bunch is tracking the leader, but about 4 lengths off him at the moment, off My Young Man, as My Young Man comes down to the next, the leader from Bark Island, and Monumental Lad on the stand side. Over the third, My Young Man from Monumental Lad. Slight peck there by Uncle Ernie in 6th place. He's got Remittance Man upsides him. My Young Man taking him along at a real good gallop. Moving up on the inside, Last of the Bunch goes second, just ahead of Bark Island. Then Monumental Lad on the outside, and Buck Willow and Uncle Ernie as they jump that one. Remittance Man is next, and then comes Orbis and Devil's Valley with Geostar on the inside. Duke de Vendôme is the back marker. My Young Man is the leader from Last of the Bunch, second, and Bark Island. Monumental Lad on the outside. Then Buck Willow and Uncle Ernie and Remittance Man on the inner, and Geostar and Orbis next over this one. My Young Man landed about 6 clear there of Last of the Bunch. Mistake there by Duke de Vendôme. Mistake also by Firian's Law. Coming down to the water now. And My Young Man lands clear of Last of the Bunch. Remittance Man making good ground on the inside, and Uncle Ernie towards the outer. Geostar comes next with Buck Willow. Over the final ditch, My Young Man, over the second ditch, I should say, and My Young Man, the leader from Last of the Bunch. Remittance Man going well on the inner, and Uncle Ernie going well on the outer. As they jump the 8th, My Young Man landed in the lead. Last of the Bunch is second, Remittance Man is third, then Uncle Ernie 4 on the outside. Then comes Devil's Valley as they race now towards the second and last ditch, 4 from home, and it's My Young Man from Last of the Bunch, Remittance Man, Uncle Ernie and Devil's Valley. Racing now up to the top of the hill. Buck Willow was a faller at that one. Geostar also went, and it's My Young Man being pressed by Last of the Bunch. Remittance Man going well in third. Uncle Ernie going well in 4. Devil's Valley comes next, and Orbis is making very good progress now. As they race down to the next, it's still My Young Man, 3 from home, who's made all the running so far from Last of the Bunch. Remittance Man coming there strongly. Uncle Ernie over on the far side at the third last. Remittance Man just with My Young Man and Uncle Ernie on the outside, and Last of the Bunch. It's Remittance Man, the leader now from Last of the Bunch, and Uncle Ernie improving towards the outside. Remittance Man now from Uncle Ernie, 2 from home, and it's the big 2. Remittance Man, Last of the Bunch is a faller there, and it's Remittance Man from Uncle Ernie. Richard Dunwoody from Mark Dwyer as they race round the home turn. in the Waterford Castle Arkle Challenge Trophy. They're coming to the final fence now, and it's Remittance Man on the far side. Uncle Ernie under pressure on the near side. It's Remittance Man with the advantage. Remittance Man comes through at a length and a half in the lead. He jumps it brilliantly. It's Remittance Man on the far side. Uncle Ernie can give no more in second. Devil's Valley is third. Remittance Man is going to win the Waterford Castle Arkle Challenge Trophy in great style. Remittance Man is the winner. Uncle Ernie is second, and Redundant Pal gets up to be third ahead of Devil's Valley and Orbis. And so the 1, 2, 3, Remittance Man, Uncle Ernie and Redundant Pal. Just to recap the result. First, number 12, Remittance Man, owned by Mr. J.E.H. Collins, trained by Nicky Henderson, ridden by Richard Dunwoody, bred incidentally by Red Rum's breeder, this horse, Martin J. McHenry. Second was number 13, Uncle Ernie, owned by Tony Budge Equine Limited, trained by Jimmy Fitzgerald and ridden by Mark Dwyer. And third was number 11, Redundant Pal, owned by Mr. Pierce O'Neill, trained by Paddy Mullins in Ireland and ridden by Conor O'Dwyer. Fourth was number 3, Devil's Valley.
First, number 12, Remittance Man, 85-40 favourite. Second, number 13, Uncle Ernie, 5-2. And third, number 11, Redundant Pal, 16-1.